Okay, it is saying we're live just a few seconds after 5 o'clock, so pretty close to where we need to be. And let me try to find this on my iPad so that I can monitor things and make sure that everything is the way it needs to be. And make sure that the audio's okay and all those good things. Okay, it does look like we are good to go. And I'm going to bring up some photos here and have them ready. I am wearing one of my Oxford suits because Steve was visited by a young lady selling Oxford suits and other things. He bought a couple of shirts and I think a pair of shoes from her. And but I don't think he's ordered an Oxford suit yet. But I figured I would go ahead and pull out the Oxford suit. I don't wear this that often because it's a very fine pattern and it gives that moire. The camera can't handle this detail. So it gives you that moire effect on the camera shot. So don't wear it too often when I'm doing a live stream. Occasionally I will, though. This is one of my favorite Oxford suits, and it's an oldie but a goodie. And I do like a comfortable, full, easy to move in suit, unlike the ones they're selling these days that are trim fit and super short jackets that look kind of goofy, like a little boy's coat. Carlos is in the house. We're going to talk about watches. We're going to talk about how you should love the watch you're with. You know, they say love the woman you're with, the girl you're with, the date you're with, and well, they say, hey, let's do that with these watches. Let's get out and enjoy and use these watches, and not always covet the other watch, the watch that we don't have, right? Sometimes there's always the watch that we wish we had, and we don't pay proper attention to the watch that we have. We've got some beautiful timepieces. I think we should wear and enjoy them. And Carlos wears his Date 840 on a regular basis and enjoys that. As a matter of fact, let me see. I think I had a picture of his Date 840. I think I might have had it on the desktop here. Let me just take a quick look here and see if I do. Yes, I think I do, by George. So we're going to pull this up. I just noticed this was on here. And so let me just get this sized up. And this is an oldie but a goodie from Carlos. That's a photo that he sent of his Date 840, I think shortly after he got it. And that's that white gold stunner that Carlos wears often. And Ray's in the house, and James is in the house. Okay, so what watches do you guys, of all the watches you have, what watch do you prefer to wear? And if you were going to grab, if the house was on fire and you were going to grab one watch, here's another look at that Date 840 of Carlos's. The house was on fire and you had to grab one watch and go. What would you grab? What would you grab? And I'm going to, while I'm asking that question, I'm going to show one that I'd probably grab. I'd probably grab that diver because I'd probably want something heavy duty to be able to handle the situation. And I would know that that titanium stunner would be able to handle pretty much anything that we threw at it. And then the other day, somebody was asking me about the 005. There was a little discussion on the forum about the 005, and it is pretty awesome in its own right. So here's the 005 stunner. So let's pull this picture up here, and let's go full screen. Let's first of all make this browser window full screen or close to it, and let's go full screen here. And this is really this is why I came up with the title for this. Because I was thinking to myself, well, you know, I've got this 005. This is a stunner. This is a beautiful piece. And I really don't wear it that often. I wear the diver most of the time. Now, when I'm dressed up and wearing, you know, French cuffs or tighter cuffs, then I wear this 005. But I was thinking to myself, you know, I should wear it a little more often. Look how stunning this piece is. Look how stunning. You know, sometimes we've had a watch for a while and we start, taking it for granted, just like a good woman, right? You can take her for granted. But, you know, this is a gorgeous piece. Look at this piece. I'm going to walk through these photos. This is the 005 Stunner. This is the GMT with the 9F movement. And you can see that is an absolute stunner. An absolute stunner. And actually what brought this up was the thread with David. David's in the house. And we showed the strap that he got for his 005. And we showed some of the photos. I dug into this set and found those photos. But you look at these photos here, and I'll tell you what, it's even better looking in person. That's when I bought it, by the way, at Steve's. That's when I first tried it on wrist at Little Treasury Jewelers. And that wrinkly hand, that's mine. Somebody comments on my photos. Oh, you look old. Well, yeah, okay, I'm old. That is what it is. There you go. Father Time is relentless. But look at this beauty. I mean, and again, when you see it in person, it's even more stunning than these photos. So that says something. See the little peaks of blue just kind of peeking out there in that shot? And then there you're getting hit with a little more blue when the sun hits it, depending on how the sun hits it. And the reason I like this one, I do like that blue dial, and I like the fact that the GMT hand is red. The one with the black dial, the GMT hand is actually orange. And this looks a little bit orangish here, but it's more red than orange. Again, depending on how the light is hitting it. See there, it looks a little more red. But the one with the black dial is definitely orange hand. So, yeah, that 005, and look at how that case is shaped. I mean, just a perfect shape to the case. They really nailed it. You know, sometimes they nail it on a watch. There again, a very, very reminiscent of an older Rolex Oyster case, right? The shape that you would have similar on like a Datejust or something like that before they screwed everything up with the maxi cases. Of course, you can still buy a Yachtmaster and get around the super case. The super case disaster. So yeah, and I'll show some more photos here in a minute, but let me know what you think in the chat. Let me know what you think in the chat about the concept of having a few watches that you really like and really enjoying them, getting out and using them, wearing them. Life is so short, right? I talked to somebody the other day, oh no, I absolutely wouldn't take my watch out and wear it. I might get a scratch on it. And I said, well, yeah, life is too short, guy, to have that thing just sitting in the box at home. Wear that puppy. Let's see. The other day I put together all watches, including shitters, and I got surprised. Yeah, I would sell some of the ones you don't like and you don't wear and you don't use. There's no point, in my opinion, in having them around if you don't really like the watch and don't really want to use it and enjoy it. We're talking about enjoying these watches here on this show today. James is in the house. I do not own any high horology at the moment. I'm currently wearing the Orient Mako LX in the Kermit color configuration, black dial, green bezel. I paid $125 for it and love it. Well, there you go, James. We'll wear that and enjoy it. Absolutely. David says he loves his 005 Stunner. We're going to show a picture of his here in a minute. And excellent value for the money. Of course, Dave, that's all. Everything's relative when you compare to his 125 watch. James has a pretty good value there. And our Wags is in the house. He's saying hello. By the way, has everybody maxed out their Roth IRA? I'm able to put $7,000 in each year now. And so you guys should figure out what you can do as far as maxing out your Roth IRA. And if you have a high income situation, you might need to use what's called a backdoor Roth IRA. Use the backdoor method. Your financial advisor can probably give you some advice on that. This is not financial advice on this show. Let's see. And Carlos R. Wags is saying hello to everybody. There you go. And my rule is if it does not get wrist time, move it on. David in the house. Okay, let's take a look at a few more pictures here while we've got them up here, while Flickr's working. It was down earlier today, by the way. Flickr was down. Now there's the gas bone strap that I threw on mine just for fun. I took it off. I didn't really like it, but I had that strap laying around and it fit, so I put it on. So now there's David's watch with the strap. It's an actual Grand Seiko strap, alligator strap, and I believe it has the deployant clasp. And there you go. There's mine in the foreground and his in the background. It does give it a whole different look, and it really looks sharp. I think it looks sharp. Look at that. Look at that. That is a stunner. That'll be the last one in this set. And, well, that's interesting. The 18 is in red. My 14 that's on my dial now is in black. Does this have a roulette date wheel? I never noticed that. See that 18? It looks like it's red in that picture right there. Folks, we may be discovering something here today. Let me know in the chat what is going on with that. Is that 18 actually red, that date? Or is that just the way the light was hitting it? Mine says the 14th right now, and mine is in black, the 14. We'll go, here, we'll show it. There's the stunner, and let's see here. Let's see, some of them were, okay. Craig, what marketing / selling site would you use to sell watches? That's a good question. It's not as easy, it's easier said than done. I have sold a couple of watches on eBay and had good luck, but other people have not had such good luck. You're going to pay a nice commission to them. Most other websites that handle that sort of thing for you, you're going to pay a healthy commission to sell. So when I sold my 18 karat gold dress watch, Grand Seiko dress watch stunner, I sold it to a subscriber, which is the best way to do it, because then I got 100% of the money. He got the watch, and there was no middleman. So that's the best way to do it if you can find a buyer, but that's not always so easy to do. I would just cast about in some of the forums and see if you can find a buyer that's willing to trust you and send the money, and once you've secured the money, send them the watch. I mean, that's the ideal situation. But it's not. That's why when I hear these people investing in watches, I mean, they're not very liquid. They're not a very liquid asset. Even if you can sell it, it's not necessarily easy to do. Okay, so Orients are a really good value for the money. Had a world timer of theirs, loved it. Passed it on to my nephew. He loves it. There you go. Mr. Roth has been maxed out since January 7th. Backdoor loophole was used. Roth IRA is the best investment vehicle anywhere. All tax-free returns. Yeah, I mean, it's just anybody that's not maxing out their Roth every year, I don't know what they're thinking. I really just don't know what the thought process is there. I just don't. So there's that. And now, at my age, I can put 7,000 in. Our WAGs can probably do the same. So yeah, I think if you're under 55, I think it's 6,000 max that you can put in each year. I have a rotation of 3 pieces, but I have at least 8 others, all Rolex, new old stock that have never been on my wrist, and purchased some 15 to 20 years ago. David Lee has some new old stock pieces. You might want to sell those at the top of the market, David, and take that money and put it in a real investment. That might be, of course, I don't give investment advice, so maybe I shouldn't say that, but yeah. If they were mine, I'll put it that way. I'd sell them here at the top of the market. Craig, no roulette date wheel, just a reflection of something in the crystal. Interesting, that, because I swear, look at that picture. I swear it looks like that 18 is in red. That's wild. That's absolutely wild. Um, let's see. What about Chrono 24? Okay, yeah. Oh, Brianna, the lovely Brianna, Brie Fit Dance is in the house. Folks, if you don't already subscribe to her channel, again, I don't know what you're thinking. Click on Brie Fit Dance. She's a member of the Wrench Gang, and subscribe to her channel because she is going places, folks. She's building a brand and she's going places, and she also holds Bitcoin. She has a strong hand. I'm going to ask her right now. I'm not going to give her any coaching on this at all. I'm just going to ask her right now. I'm going to say, okay, Brianna, let us know in the chat, if you're still watching, let us know when you will sell your Bitcoin. Let us know in the chat when you will sell your Bitcoin. Let's see what the lovely Brianna says. Let's see. And Carlos says hello to Bree. And David Lee, is a Roth the same as our ISA, just a tax wrapper? I don't know about are you talking about some investment vehicle overseas? I'm not sure what an ISA is. $7,000 over 50 years old and 6,000 under 50 for Roth or traditional IRA. Our wags in the house giving us the stats, the statistics, thought it was 50. There you go. I will never sell my Bitcoin, Bree. Is that 4 explanation points? Talk about a strong hand. She says it's not for sale. She says if you want to buy some Bitcoin, you're going to have to buy it from somebody else. And here's the problem with people that want to buy Bitcoin is the weak hands are being flushed out as we speak. And slowly but surely, they're being replaced by strong hands like Brianna. And it is going to start getting really difficult for folks to get their hands on Bitcoin. It's going to be difficult to get, folks. You think that a vintage Cosmograph, Rolex Cosmograph, Daytona, you think they're hard to get. Wait until you see how hard it's going to be to get a hold of some Bitcoin in a few years. It could be a real problem for those no-coiners that just don't have any. David Lee, the Roth IRA is totally tax-free, not tax-deferred, tax-free, a big difference. Well, here's the thing. You do pay tax. It's after-tax money that you put in. So, in other words, you've already paid tax on the money, but the huge difference with a Roth is all the growth, which is where most of your profit's going to be if you invest it for a long period of time. Most of the money in there at the end of the day is going to be growth, right? It's going to be your returns. And the key is those returns are not taxed. So you come out way ahead as compared to a traditional IRA where you're gonna have to pay taxes when you take that gain out. You're gonna have to pay taxes on that. And so it's a huge advantage, especially the longer you put the money in. And that's why somebody young like Brianna should set up a Roth IRA as soon as possible and start putting money in that puppy, because my goodness, it's a huge, huge thing. And our WAG says Bitcoin is 10,320 as we speak. So there you go. Cheetown's in the house. Hey, Craig, just grabbing some sushi to go. Absolutely. Why not? And let's see. Okay, so does anybody else have any comments on the subject of love the watch you're with? Okay, enjoy the watch you're with. You know, dance with the one you brung, right? And so let me know what watch of the watches you have, which one would you like to have on your wrist right now? If you had to just grab one watch, the house was on fire, you had to grab one watch and go, which one would you grab? That's kind of telling us, right? Really, the one you really love, you're going to save it from the fire. Which watch are you going to grab? I would probably grab the titanium diver because I'd want something really heavy duty in that kind of an instance. And speaking of heavy duty, by the way, I restored some boots. I restored some boots for the lovely Brianna. And let's see, let me pull up a picture here. Because when we go hiking in the mountains, here in the mountains, she's going to need something heavy duty. So, so these puppies were made in these United States of America. And I restored those a little bit today, cleaned them up a little bit, put some Picard leather dressing on them, and they're going to be ready to go. They're going to be ready to venture out into the mountains, and if a timber rattler tries to strike her, maybe hopefully they'll hit that boot instead of her leg. What do you guys think about that? A timber rattler. Okay. Sounds like exactly the same as our ISA. Our limit is $20K per year. David Lee in the house. Well, wow, that's good that you can put that much in. David Williams, Omega Planet Ocean. He'd grab that puppy and go. The Omega Planet Ocean. I don't know. I'd probably grab the 005 if I were you, David. I'd think over the Planet Ocean. Maybe I'd grab the 005 and go, but it's a tough call. It is a tough call. And somebody's going to grab the gold Patek Philippe Nautilus and get out of the house with that puppy. Mark's in the house. And Cheetown, only one watch take out the door. My Zodiac Super Seawolf. Well, there you go. He's going to take a heavy-duty piece. That can take a lot of abuse. Carlos would grab the Date 8, but if I'd have to be my only watch for the rest of my life, I would get the Explorer 39. There you go. Our WAG says, I'm wearing my 18-karat gold Rolex Date 8 present. Love the watch. A real stunner. So he doesn't even have to grab it. It's already on his wrist. He just has to get on out of the house. And I believe that's a bark finish unit. I believe that's the 1807 that our WAGs has. And that is a stunner. Let me see if I can pull up a picture of an 1807. Give me a moment here. Give me a moment here. Speaking of Chrono 24, they've got some listed here. Okay, so here's an 1807. This one looks the best. Let me pull this one up. Okay, here is an 1807 stunner. Look at that bark finish. That is cool. I think it's cool. You know, back in the day, I preferred the regular one. I didn't prefer the bark finish. But the bark finish has definitely grown on me over the years. I think it's cool. I think it is cool. And if you could get one with in really good shape, I think there's something to be said for the bark finish. The model 1807, 36 mil Date 8. And that's a heck of a lot of money for $89.94. Again, I don't know how tight this bracelet is and stuff, the condition of it, but still, I mean, that's a lot of watch for the money if you get one. If you could get one in good shape, even if you had to go up to like 10,000 and get one in really good shape, that's a gorgeous watch for the money. I can't imagine people spending that kind of money and getting a steel Rolex when they could get a Date 8 like that. I mean, they could have a stunner on wrist. Instead, they buy some steel watch. I had a debate with somebody in one of the forums. I basically said, hey, listen, if you want attention, if you want somebody to notice your watch, right, don't buy a steel Rolex. It ain't going to get the job done. You can be out and about, bumping around and meet all kinds of people and so forth, and they're not going to care one iota if you're wearing a steel Rolex. It's not going to get the job done if that's what you want. If you want their attention, that ain't going to work. You got to have an 18-karat yellow gold Rolex if you want attention. Now, if you don't care, if you don't want attention, then fine, the steel watch is fine. But to think that it is a luxury item and that people are going to notice it and people are going to care, in the real world, they don't. They don't. They notice this titanium stunner of mine more than they ever noticed any steel Rolex I had, because it's got a little more bling to it, you know, the way the bracelet is and everything, and the high polishing and everything. I mean, I've noticed people ogling that dive watch, and of course it's bigger too. I've noticed people ogling that a lot more than they ever ogled any of my steel Rolexes. Now, the day date, when you're wearing a day date, okay, something like that, and the sun catches that 18 karat yellow gold, or just lighting in a store or something or whatever, you know, just happens to catch it, especially if you have the one with the fluted bezel and all, not the bark finish, but the one with the fluted bezel and everything. Yeah, they're going to notice that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. They're going to notice that. Even if they're not watch people, they're going to notice that. Let's see. Bree, you are one mighty woman. Hello to everybody. I have no bitcoins, but Seiko that I love. I think Cheetown once happily wore Seiko. Is that not so? Cheetown. Okay. Yeah, and Bree is one mighty woman. She is fantastic. She is a superstar, and you just mark my words. You just hang in there, everybody. Mark my words. She is going to hit it big. She is going to hit it big. Corey, you're however I pronounce that. Have you seen the video by Bruce Williams about your GS diver? He thinks it's not that great. Yeah, he did the steel one. This is a whole different ballgame. This is the titanium, the 231, which is what Mark Goldberg should have bought. That one that David reviewed was Mark's watch, and he screwed up. He bought the steel, the 229. So yeah, he was wrong. He bought the wrong watch. And even the steel one that he did the review on is also a fantastic watch, but it's not nearly as good as the 231. But it's a better watch than for example, a Submariner or any Omega diver. It's far superior to any of those. So yeah. And also a lot of these people, these pundits, right? They do a quick review on a watch. They didn't wear it for any period of time. They didn't actually use the watch for any period of time. He complained about the clasp on it, and the clasp is fantastic. I've been using the watch for almost 2 years now, and the clasp is fantastic, far superior to anything that Rolex has or Omega. And so, yeah, these people need to actually use these watches before they really know what they're all about. So there's that. Let's see, Explorer 39, Calatrava 5196, and Date 840. That's a winning combo. Meal deal, hunger buster, absolutely. Nice bark. Yeah, the bark finish, yeah. 9K, that's a great price if the bracelet is good. David Lee in the house. Well, the day dates are good buys. I mean, and again, maybe you'd have to pay another $1,000 to get one with a really tight bracelet, but even if you spent $10,000, it'd still be a heck of a watch. Your GS Diver does have a lot of bling chip. That was the first thing I noticed when I met you at the Little Treasury event last year. Our WAG's in the house. Yeah, it's a pretty amazing piece. Let's see, Carlos. In my case, my wife is the only that noticed the day date. Sometimes she says that she loves how the color changes with a hint of gold tone. There you go. She's got a sharp eye. Rolex Glide Lock clasp rules. Here's the thing about the Glide Lock on the sub is that the clasp is real long on those. I think it looks a little bit goofy. Plus, you have to take it off wrist to extend it. I like the fact that I can just lift up the clasp on mine and extend it real easily, and then just as easily push it back in while on wrist. So from a functionality standpoint, the setup on the GS is much better. Much better. Not even a close call. So, and of course the 231, because it's titanium, is so much more comfortable on wrist. I noticed the other day I was wearing it. It was down over the bone, which I usually don't wear the watches like down like this, right over this bone. It's usually on the upper side of the bone. But I noticed the diver was down. It slid down into that position, and usually it feels uncomfortable. Like this watch right now feels a little bit uncomfortable in this position, right? But the diver felt fine because it's so lightweight. It's so comfortable that even in this position, it feels great, you know? But typically I would have it just on that side of the bone, which is where my watch is right now. So yeah, that 231 is just amazing for somebody that actually wears their watches. Now, if somebody buys the watch to share it on social media and to talk about it in the forums and things like that, then it might not be the way to go. But if you're actually buying the watch to wear and use, then yeah, the 231 is really hard to beat. I know it's not a very trendy option, but I'd go Yachtmaster Blue Dial, swelt size, no maxi case, timing bezel, and gorgeous dial. Oh my gosh, yes, the Yachtmaster with the blue dial is stunning. Let's pull one up here. Give me a moment here, and let me see if I can pull one up. Just searching on Chrono 24, and yes, here is one. So here's a bunch of them coming up, and let's go ahead and pull this one up. Here's a 6-digit one. So this will have the, the nicer, the more modern bracelet. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through the photos here on this puppy. Absolutely stunning piece. I mean, my gosh, yes, I would take that 1,000 times over a sub with the maxi case. Well, I mean the super case. The super case. They both have the maxi dial. But anyway, yeah, I would pass on the super case. Just like I pass on altcoins, right? If people say, it's altcoin season, Ethereum's pumping, all this. Yeah, right. You keep the altcoins. I'll just keep my Bitcoin. And 10 years from now, we'll see what your altcoins are worth. Carlos, Yachtmaster is very nice. In my case, I would go for the rhodium, but blue is very nice. There you go. Yeah, and I think it's only 11.7 mils thick. So it's trimmer than the, it's trimmer on wrist than the sub by far. Of course, it's only 100 meters, water resistant, but who needs more than that, really? I mean, let's be realistic about all this. Look at that stunner. That's the stunner that Carlos was talking about. Yeah, it would be a coin toss for me. I would go for either dial. I would go for either the blue or the gray. I think they're both absolute stunners. Let's go through the photos on this one. Look at that. Look at the case. Look at the shape of that case. And people are going to try to make the argument that the super case is the way to go. Are you freaking kidding me? What is wrong with people? Do they have no taste? Look at that. Look at the shape of that case. That is absolutely gorgeous. Very trim on the wrist. Very nice. Just a nice piece of packaging there. Rolex got it right there. And I don't even mind the shiny center links anymore. I would go with that. That'd be fine with me. Is the SBA 231 a 44 mil? Yes, it's 44 mil, but it wears smaller. It really does, just because of the shape of the lugs and the way the bracelet drapes and everything. It really wears more like a 42. And of course, it's so light because of the titanium. It just makes it super, super comfortable on wrist. Just a freaking amazing watch. Mark from Long Island said recently that the GS Diver Platinum is so stunningly good because of its lightning. You mean titanium, not platinum, titanium. It's so stunning. Oh my gosh, yes. It's super comfortable on wrist. I wouldn't mind a Hulk despite the maxi case. Yeah, I would pass on that. Nice call on selling Apple at 217. Oops. Oh yeah, my gosh, I got out of a lot of stocks because I thought that the market was overheated and had gone too far. And, it's like I put a lot of money on the sidelines and then the market just keeps going up. But I've done that before. I've gotten out early before. And then at some point the market crashes and then I'm okay. So I was up 35% and I'm like, I can't be too greedy here, folks. But yeah, I obviously I should have kept that Apple stock. Absolutely. It's been going freaking bananas, as have a lot of stocks. So there you go. Fortunately, my Bitcoin has been picking up the slack and doing quite nicely. Thank you. Up even more than Apple stock, by the way, in the same time period. Okay, so let's see. Is the same case as the Explorer Daytona. It's similar. I think it's very similar to the Daytona case. I'm not sure about the Explorer. Might be a little different, but yeah, it's similar. Exactly. Yachtmaster is the perfect marriage between Datejust and Submariner. You get the sporty looks and timing bezel with the suit and tie elegance. Yeah, good point. And you could wear it as an all-arounder because it's thin enough to wear as a dress watch. Joel in the house, my everyday watch is a Rolex GMT2 Coke 2008. Absolutely. Yep, I had one of those. Those are really good pieces. I wore one of those for years back in the day. Okay, Yachtmaster, great. Though cannot do polished center links, David. Well, if you wear it enough, those polished center links will get a patina and the shine will come down off of them. So there's that. Just wear it. Just wear it enough. Mark from Long Island Watch personally owns a blue dial Yachtmaster, more stunning than a blue dial 5711 Nautilus to me. Oh my gosh, yes. I would never buy the Nautilus. I wouldn't buy any watch with an integral bracelet. Are you kidding me? In this day and age, you're going to buy a watch with an integral bracelet? I don't know what people are thinking about there either. I would pass on a Nautilus, the Offshore, any of those ugly watches. I mean, there are too many attractive watches like this one here that you can buy. Why would you buy an ugly watch? I mean, why would you go out and spend good money and buy an ugly watch when you can buy a stunner? I mean, you could buy something like that. You could buy that titanium stunner. I mean, you could buy something like this 005 stunner. Right? I mean, there's a lot of stunners out there that you can buy. You could buy a Datejust stunner. There's a lot of them. You could buy a Day-Date stunner. Why would you go out and spend a lot of money and buy an ugly watch? I don't get it. People say, well, it's just a matter of taste. Well, it's a matter of some people just don't have taste, I guess. That's what that is the matter of. I think the Yachtmaster has the absolutely useless complications. Well, I mean, the bezel for timing things and all that can be pretty handy. I don't really use the bezel on my watch to time things. I have to be honest with you. I rarely use it for that functionality. But I mean, it's there. If you do want to use it, if you park somewhere and you got 20 minutes, you can spin that thing around. You can time 20 minutes with it. I mean, the reason I bought the dive watch is legibility. And that particular dive watch, because of accuracy as well, the spring drive and the comfort on wrist. Those are the three things, is the legibility, the comfort on wrist, and the extreme accuracy. And those are the three things I want. And I've gotten spoiled. I've gotten totally spoiled with the accuracy of that watch and now this watch, that I don't think I can go back to a Rolex or something that is a lot less accurate. That's why the watch I'm considering for an 18-karat dress watch stunner is the 002, the Grand Seiko with the spring drive. Let me see if I still have the picture on the tab here so I can bring it up and show you. And show you the 002. See if I have it here. Dun, 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 dun. Well, I guess I can close this out. I don't need this. I'm just getting rid of some things here that I don't really need, folks, in the tabs here. Give me a moment. I will get there. Let's take that ugly watches tab out of here. We don't really need that. I think you guys know now what the ugly watches are. And here it is. Here's the blog to watch article on the 002. So when this loads in, I'll show you this one. Just give me another moment here for this to load in. There we go. There's the 002 Stunner that we've talked about a couple of times. And the beauty here is you've got a 10 millimeter thick watch. That's a great thickness for a dress watch. I think it's 38.5 mils is the size, which is fine. That's a good size for a dress watch. It's a little bit big, but it will work fine. And there's the steel version. So you're going to have extreme accuracy. You're going to have a gorgeous case design. Just a gorgeous dial, stunning dial. And then you're going to have the accuracy of a spring drive and a manual wind movement with 72-hour power reserve. I mean, that could give me the perfect trifecta, where I have a fantastic heavy use sport watch, and then I have a all-around travel watch, an all-arounder / travel watch GMT, and then a stunner dress watch, and all three being superbly accurate and extremely high quality. So that could be quite a mix, assuming Steve can get an 002 in stock for me to even look at. He hasn't even been able to get one. So there you go. I get no respect, by the way, from the GS people. They could care less that Craig wants an 002. It's like, oh, well, okay. Goes in one ear and out the other. They don't care. So, yeah. I'm the Rodney Dangerfield of watch customers, right? I've bought several watches from them, and I talk about their watches all the time, but I still get no respect. No respect here, but I'm not bitter. Let's see here. 2008 was the last year for the pre-ceramic GMT. Okay, was 2008. Okay. Carlos, but isn't it useful for up to 10 minutes? Both Seawolf salad's good for me. Okay. Oh, seaweed salad. I gotta get my glasses updated. When did Rolex switch the Datejust to blue chromalite lume? Handled one yesterday at a jewelry store. I shined it with my flashlight and the lume was green. Was this a fake? Felt underwhelming. Hey, that's interesting. So was it an AD that had a fake? That would be interesting. All right, I think we're going to wrap this puppy up. I think we've kind of gone down this rabbit hole as far as we can go for now. Put any comments in the chat that you'd like to put, and we'll wrap this puppy up. I do not think so unless you need precision. Sub is the same, only 1 minute until 15. Oh, okay, 1 minute increments. Are you talking about slashes until 15? Well, one thing I do like about these is they've got the numbers all the way around up to 50, and I do kind of like that. That's a little bit better than not having them. So yeah, there's that. Let's see, wearing a Tudor Black Bay 58 on an ISO frame black strap. Okay. What's the dinner plan, Chip? Okay, so that's a good question. Probably going to be a sweet potato base and probably definitely some avocado with that. Maybe some black beans and maybe some fish. Um, yeah, maybe something like that. So a lot of nutrition, a lot of nutrients. I like to eat things that are nutrient dense. Um, so, and typically foods that are high in fiber uh, do tend to be nutrient dense. My buddy and I had a discussion about fiber, and he says he takes a spoonful of Metamucil every day or something. I said, if you eat the foods that have the fiber in them, then you're going to get the fiber and the nutrition. You're going to get everything you need. But you just take a supplement like that, you're just getting the fiber. You're not getting the nutrition. Best to eat the food that's high in nutrients and is high in fiber. And a nice variety of that, I think, is a good move. Let's see, do you think he should upgrade to ceramic bezel on the titanium stone? My bezel's held up fine. Everybody talks about that the bezel should be ceramic or something, but mine's held up fine. I have no problems at all with the bezel, so I don't understand why people complain about that. I guess if you're really hard on your watch, but the problem is if you're really hard on your watch, you can shatter ceramic, so there's a possible downside there, and of course the ceramic would be a lot more expensive to fix or replace. So no, I haven't had a problem at all with the bezel on mine. It's held up just fine. No, definitely not an authorized dealer. It was, let's say, ghetto jewelry store, mostly sold diamond set watches. Carmelite came out in 2008. Watch was allegedly 2012. Okay. I wear my Rolex every day, and I think the bracelet is so comfortable I don't even realize that it's there. Joel in the house. Which model do you have? What are your thoughts on the Black Bay 58? Yeah, I would pass on a Tudor. I think there are a lot of other options that you can buy out there. I don't think you need to go down that route of the Tudor thing. We never considered a Tudor back in the day. No real reason to consider one now. Too many other excellent options. On that note, I think we're going to wrap this puppy up. Thank you all for watching. Do click subscribe and do click the little bell so that you'll get notifications when we do go live, and so that you'll have your opportunity to interact with us. And thanks everyone for watching. And remember, Bree Fit Dance. Go to her YouTube channel, Bree Fit Dance, and follow Brianna on all the platforms. You'll be glad that you did. Thank you all again for watching.